Okay. I smell the alcohol coming from your breath.
Okay.
Are you willing to perform standard field sobriety exercises?
Okay.
You are?
No.
Well, you're making sure you have a driver's license for you to be able to drive off.
And what makes you suspect I don't have one?
We gotta make sure we got.
Please do not. I'm asking you for courtesy, man to man. Please do not ruin my career. Please, please, please.
Not this officer decided to harass a man parked on private property, even though there wasn't anything wrong with that. However, it was when he demanded the man's license and proof of insurance that things got heated. All along, the officer was in the wrong, but he was still trying to prove he's the one who's right in this situation. Take a look.
You're about to drive off, and I want to make sure you have a valid driver's license. And you're not supposed to be on the property.
Well, and so I'm...
Yes, sir. So you're about to drive off, yes, sir.
So I'll accept being trespassed, but I don't want to be ID'd.
Okay, well, you're driving off, right? We have to make sure you have a valid driver's license.
When you...
Does that make sense?
No, when you have
How does that not make sense?
when you have an infraction to pull me over for, then...
Well, we're here. We want to make sure you're able to drive off. You have a valid driver's license to drive off, right?
I understand that you want to do
You're not operating a
that.
motor vehicle without a bad license, right?
And do you suspect that I don't have a license?
Well, we got to make sure.
When the man hears this officer's first responses, he already knows it's about to be a long day for him. Let's see what happens next.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir, we do. If you're driving off, yes, sir.
No, yeah, you can't just pull people over for...
I'm not pulling you over. I'm making sure you have a driver's license for you to be able to drive off.
And what makes you suspect I don't have one?
We got to make sure. We got to double check. Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Surely do.
Okay, do you have that with you?
Surely do.
All right, can I see that?
No.
You have to have insurance to drive off, yes, sir. And you have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle, right? Does that make sense?
Surely does.
Okay, but we have to make sure that's what's going
And
on.
when you have a reason to suspect that I don't.
We have a reason that you got.
As you can hear, this situation is borderline ridiculous, and the officer is just repeating itself like a broken record. However, he's slowly starting to realize that he's not going to get anywhere, but not before saying this.
To drive off. Because you're not supposed to be on the property.
And I'm happy to leave the property.
We have to make sure you have insurance and a driver's license. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. It makes sense if you pull me over for an infraction.
That's not how this works. You're not supposed to be on the property. You're going to have to drive off in your vehicle.
Right.
Right.
And that's the trespass. I'm accepting being trespassed.
Hold on. For us to let you do that, we have to make sure you have a current driver's license and insurance for the vehicle.
What makes you suspect I don't have it?
Well, we have to make sure.
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not, sir.
Then, unless you've got me on an infraction of some kind, I don't have...
It's important to note that the man in the car is completely right here and is trying to educate the officer on the situation. But he clearly doesn't want to agree with him and keeps admitting he's not detaining the man in the vehicle. While the man is indeed free to leave at any time, the officer still proceeds to ask him some strange questions he should never be asking. Let's hear them.
Where are you heading after this? Where are you going?
Off the property, I guess.
Okay, so what's your next move?
We'll head off the property.
Okay. Are you gonna go onto any public driveway? Like any public road? Is that where you're going?
Eventually, sure.
Okay, then we gotta make sure you got a driver's license.
And when you see me with an infraction on that public roadway, then you can pull me over.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna let you drive off if you don't have a driver's license.
Is your supervisor about?
He's watching.
And what's he got to say?
Now, the officer looks up and appears to be having a conversation with someone here, and that someone is his supervisor who told him to leave the man alone and let him go. And that's exactly what he had to do.
You gotta get off the property. All right, you're good.
Thanks. You have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Don't we all love people impersonating the police? Those situations are usually as cringe as they get, especially when they're caught in the act by real police. And this right here is just another example. A random man was directing traffic, which resulted into the cops being called. The reason for his actions that he provided was just funny though. Let's take a look.
Waste. Hi there. There. So, you're an actual Cleveland police officer?
No, I'm not with Cleveland PD. I work for Cleveland Watchmen. We're a security company that hires only off-duty police officers to do traffic control for.
Are you an off-duty police officer?
Yeah.
So, who are you with?
Pickaway Sheriff's Office.
Pickaway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're out of
They do.
Ohio, and you're here working in Franklin County in Whitehall as an off-duty police officer.
No, I'm working as security.
So, he's working as an off-duty police officer for a security company and wearing a police vest with a gun belt around his waist. Yeah, right.
No, you're uniform marked as a police officer. You're working as a police officer right now with a car that has red and blue lights on it.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I've got some paperwork I can give to you from.
Absolutely, and I'll need to get your information. I've been asked to come up by my deputy chief and get that.
Okay.
Because yeah. Here, you.
The weird thing here, though, is the fact that this fake cop was actually driving a real cop vehicle. We have to admit, though, that this man's got some balls, lying to a real officer like that, while doing something highly illegal. Let's see how they eventually get the truth out of him.
Okay. So I can't get a hold of the chief from Richland Township, which is Glenmont.
It's Richland Township.
Yeah.
So it's a township police department,
No,
or
it's
it's
the
village?
Village in Richland Township. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a village in Richland.
But you have no ID from them.
No,
all right.
no.
And have you ever been sworn in by them?
I've talked to the chief.
No.
So
I'm asking you a direct question. Have you been sworn in
Now,
by
it's
them?
very important you answer this correctly, because being a former police officer or someday a current police officer, you know if you lie in this situation, you go directly to jail.
No, I'm not-
So I'm going to
I'm
put
not-
that right
listen,
out.
I'm not-
So
I'm
if you
not-
are telling me you are a police officer right now, is that what you're telling
No.
me? So you are not a commissioned police officer.
I've spoke with the chief.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you one question. Are you a commissioned police officer through the state of Ohio?
The fake cop proceeds to dodge the question because his answer is clearly not a yes. However, him steering the conversation away doesn't do him justice in the long run.
I have an OPUDA certificate.
That's not what
That's
I'm
not
asking.
what we're asking you.
I'm explaining to you. I have
No, you're not. You're not answering the question. You're avoiding the question. It's very simple. Are you a sworn police officer anywhere in the state of
means
Ohio in
commission.
any department?
Not currently.
Okay. That's the
Not that,
question.
well,
Not
I'm
currently.
unsure. I'm unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You would have to raise your hand, swear, sign a form, and you would get
I've talked to
paperwork on that.
Hello.
Talking to the chief is not enough.
You've seen that right. The man literally pretended to be talking with a chief on the phone. But sadly, nobody believed it. Once his web of lies was exposed and he found himself cornered by the authorities, the man resorted to desperate pleas. He begged the police officers not to jeopardize his supposed career, though it raised questions as to what career he meant, given that he had no ties to law enforcement. Despite the vague appeals, his fate was sealed as he was notified that he would face charges for his impersonation act. A thorough pat-down was conducted before he was accompanied to the confines of a jail cell.
Please do not. I'm asking you for courtesy, man to man. Please do not ruin my career. Please.
I think you did that kind of on your own, Casey.
Please.
All right. The Pickaway County. You knew you didn't work for Pickaway County. You displayed that badge. All right. You're out here acting in law enforcement capacity, displaying a badge that you have no right to have, or a facsimile of a badge. That's not even a real badge. You were aware of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not real.
Okay. So, all right, you're going to be charged.
Oh, seriously.
I'm serious, okay? Now, we're going to be nice about this, okay? And we're going to take you over, and you can take your gun belt off, and you can set it on the hood of that car, okay? And we're going to take you in. We don't have to handcuff you. This officer is going to pat you down, all right? And we'll let you out, all right, on a summons, all right?
Now, the officers are being very kind here, as they could have charged the man with far worse crimes, which they later describe as he clearly doesn't understand the gravity of the situation he got himself into.
Now,
Are we too far for me to?
where,
Listen,
okay?
it's completely deceptive.
Here's the problem. You'll understand that right now we can charge you for improperly handling in a vehicle. I can charge you for impersonating a police officer. All right, there's tons of charges. Well, probably the impersonation of a police officer.
So
All right.
the best thing to do right now is to just take off the belt.
And
All right, so let's step over here and take care of that first.
Smith, right here. Right here. Take off the belt. And then I'm going to see.
You don't have anything else on you, do you?
No.
All right.
Just,
No, don't reach in. All right, you should know the drill.
The video clearly displayed that the police officers chose to be remarkably lenient with him, even though they had every right to press multiple additional charges against the young man. It's evident that they extended him a considerable amount of leniency. Let's hope he learned a lesson or two. So we know cops like to stop random people even when they're not doing anything wrong. But these detectives crossed the line after stopping a man who was sitting in his parked vehicle watching YouTube. It all sounds perfectly legal, and it actually was. He was parked correctly in a parking spot, not driving and using his phone. The situation seems a bit more serious to the cops, though, as they come rushing in, exaggerating the incident. Take a look.
So I'm sitting in my car, watching YouTube, and this is what just happened. Literally, at my property. Look at him.
Listen.
Look at this. What do y'all want, man? Why are y'all pulling me over? Sit down. Bro, just pull.
Obviously, the officers don't seem too cooperative. You can see one cop hidden behind the car door, pointing a gun at the man who was simply just watching a YouTube video and is now recording them to capture the wrongs they did.
Walk. Nobody's in the car. Y'all coming to me asking me questions, pulling guns on me. What do you want, man? Come up to me like that? What is wrong with you, man? Man, look, what do you want?
Good? And I pat you down for weapons.
Bro, I don't have my gun on me.
Record me. I just need to pat you down. Okay?
I don't really want you to touch me.
I need
Matter
to
of
pat you
fact,
down.
no, you can't touch me. I don't have any guns. Look, no guns. You see that?
You raise your hands up for me.
My hands is up. I just showed you. I don't.
I mean, listen, do you have any knives?
No, I'm not.
Okay, listen.
You just put you come
Yes,
on
there's a
now.
reason
No.
for that. Let me
What?
explain.
Tell me the reason.
After harassing the guy some more and accusing him of having weapons on him, this officer proceeds to explain what exactly is happening. Let's see what he has to say.
Explain it, okay? I'm Detective Channel, Las Vegas Metro, okay? You were parked here. Clearly, there's a lot of unmarked cars. We're looking for somebody. We don't know what car they're driving. You pulled up and you stayed there. Okay?
That's a good reason to come over here.
Basically, the cops were looking for a specific person in a vehicle, but they didn't know what vehicle they're looking for, and just boldly assumed that the man watching YouTube in his car is the wanted one. It's becoming evident that the stop was practically based on a coin toss, with a mentality, we might get lucky and pick the right one, which is insane and shouldn't be happening.
So he's telling me that I'm sitting in my car and they're looking for somebody and there's a lot of unmarked cars and he just pulled a gun on me and told me to get out of my car because they're looking for somebody. Do I fit the description?
We don't know.
All right.
Okay?
So you're just looking at people. So you're going to go pull somebody else over and pull your guns on them and everybody going to get out the car? This is the dumbest thing in the world, man.
Explain everything, okay? We don't know what car they're driving. You pulled up and you parked there for a good 10 minutes, right? He's supposed to meet us at Del Taco.
All right, I'm cool. I'm done. I'm done with this.
Listen.
But I will be making a report. I swear to God. I'm done with this. I don't have nothing else to say to y'all. There's nothing else to talk about. Go about your business, please.
As you can see, this man was sick of arguing with the ignorant cops and decided to leave. He had the perfect right to do so, as he hadn't done anything wrong at all. Officers should be seen as good drivers, but many times, this just isn't the case. And this officer is a perfect example, since many people called 911 on him for driving recklessly and disobeying just about every traffic law in the book. Some people even said he's sleeping behind the wheel, drunk as a skunk and intoxicated out of his mind. After a little while, they finally managed to stop the officer and talk to him. Let's see what he has to say.
Officer Oscar, why don't we come back out here real quick? Come back here, boss. It's all good.
Hey, man. So, can you just put your hands on the roof for me? I'm going to remove your gun, okay?
Right off the bat, it's pretty obvious there's something seriously wrong with the officer. He can't even open his eyes and doesn't really want to talk to them.
You got any other weapons?
No, but I'm
Take a
prone to
seizure.
seizures. You're prone to seizures? Okay, I'll turn my lights off real quick for you, alright?
I'm gonna put this in my car for the duration of this encounter, okay? What's going on, man?
You got my seizures, I act up right now.
Okay, do you need a EMS?
No.
Here, let's just lean against my car real quick, alright?
So he's blaming it all on his seizures, claiming they happen to him often. But is that really the case? We'll find out soon.
I act up right now.
Okay, do you need a EMS?
No.
Here, let's just lean against my car real quick, alright? Alright, right here. It may get a little hot, but it's not the car, alright?
Well, it seems like it wasn't only a seizure, since that right there was an empty can of an alcoholic beverage, meaning that the officer is very likely under the influence of alcohol. Then, a witness came in to explain what they saw, and this is how the situation plays out.
This guy was from Lowe's in Mount Dora all the way around a couple of blocks to Center Street and whatever the street is.
I will give him a call back in a minute. I'm speaking to complaint again.
Yeah, Center Street and Firewood.
Yes, sir.
All over the road, stopping in the middle of the street, off the road, running stop signs, a lot of stuff going on.
So the officer really was breaking every traffic law in the book. And all of it doesn't really sound like behavior displayed during a seizure, since any sane man would stop as soon as possible if that happened.
Okay.
With this guy. And I tried to call the Popka PD, of course, they said they closed. So we just called 911, I guess, and went to you guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure other people was probably calling you.
Okay.
But,
yeah, we got a call.
Yeah, he could be having a medical condition, but he was asleep. We passed by his car, he was asleep.
He was asleep?
When
did you pass by his car?
Right over here at Center and Firewood.
Okay.
We turned the corner. He was coming this way. We turned the corner because we kind of lost it.
All right.
But I have everything on video.
You do? Would you be able to email that to one of our officers?
Yeah, the guy just gave me a card here.
Perfect. That email is on at the erap@ci.justis.fl.us would be a good email.
Now, these could all be just words from the witness, but the situation gets serious for the reckless officer when it becomes apparent that the witness has video evidence of his reckless driving. And pretty much any video evidence can override any of the officer's lies about what he was doing. So let's first hear what he's got to say and his side of the story.
Your name, man?
Officer Mayorga.
Said his name was Oscar. Okay. Do you have a business card, sir?
Yes.
I'm Corporal Seal, by the way, man. Oh, is this your ID? No.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's not an ID. Okay. Alright, I'm going to hand these back to you, because I don't know... Oh, that's your ID. That's your card to get back into the station.
Sir, did you do anything to celebrate today, man?
No, sir.
No? Listen, man. It's
it's
better to be honest. In our profession,
I took a lot of Benadryl.
Listen, in our profession, you know it's best to be honest.
From the very beginning of their conversation, the officer is stuttering so much the officers literally have to tell him to be honest multiple times because it's so obvious he's about to tell them lies. However, he does admit one thing: taking Benadryl, a drug used to relieve allergy symptoms, which in larger doses could have an effect on one's well-being. Let's continue.
That's right.
No, I know. Okay. No, I know. I took
Listen, man.
the Benadryls.
There is a open container of alcohol in your vehicle. Have you been drinking at all today?
No, that's maybe 3 days old.
Well, the alcohol can was apparently 3 days old too, even though the officers is displaying clear signs of being drunk. So, what better way to settle things down with a good old field sobriety test, to which the drunk officer surprisingly agrees without arguing, but later changes his mind as he catches up with the conversation. Let's see how that plays out.
Okay. I smell the alcohol coming from your breath.
Okay.
Are you willing to perform standard field sobriety exercises?
Okay.
You are?
No.
You don't want to do them? Okay.
See, the officers are trying to act very polite and doing their very best not to arrest their fellow officer. However, it becomes clear that it's about to be impossible. He's later detained and charged with DUI.
I am really just begging you. I don't want to go to jail.
Well, hey, we're gonna detain you and we're gonna figure it out, okay? Go ahead and don't get a resistance
No,
charge.
no, of course not. No, of course not.
Put your hands like you're praying.
Yeah.
It appears that being nice isn't always an answer, and doesn't always pivot things towards the direction you want them to go.